Okay, the final episode. You guys wanted this so badly, and honestly, I feel bad because I've been doing other stories and just not doing the ones that I should be doing. But all you guys wanted the dentist part 3, and here it is, the final episode. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, if you guys go back to 2 episodes ago, me and this dentist got a little bit in the mood. And basically, where we last left off was I was gonna go do the Devil's Tango with my dentist inside her own home. But there's one thing that really bothered me. Knowing that I had full access to just one day go to my dentist's house and go do the Devil's Tango kind of stressed me out, because knowing that she had a husband and that she was married kind of just made my mind think this is a really bad idea. Which, I mean, fair enough, you know, anyone who doesn't understand basic logic, you don't go for the married woman or married man, because that would make you a home wrecker. But the fun thing about me and back in high school is that the reason I have so many crazy stories and so many exciting things that happened in my life was because I always said yes to things. From things that I know I shouldn't have done, I always just ended up saying yes. So I remember I ended up hitting her up on my phone, my dentist, and ended up snapping her saying, I am so down. Because she literally snapped me earlier saying, Baba, guess whose husband's on vacation for the next 3 weeks? You gotta come over. So knowing this in my mind, it made sense that I wouldn't get caught at all if I did go to my dentist's place and go do the Devil's Tango. But at the same time, it does make things really bad because it makes me a bad person. But at the same time, it was my dentist. If it was any chick from my school that was married, which is very, well, weird, but I mean, I can't say I've never seen it before. That's a story for another time. But going on with the story, I remember I basically decided to say screw it and go see her. Well, I ended up snapping her saying, okay, so like, when's the best time for me to come over? Because like, you know, I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to get in the way of things. And also I don't want your husband to find out. She said, oh, like basically anytime like after I'm done work would be perfect. Actually, I'm planning on leaving early on Wednesday if you want to come over then. When I knew she was leaving early from work on Wednesday, that would be the perfect timing because she ends work literally 1 hour after I end school. So I said, all right, like that sounds good, because right after I'm done school, she'll instantly be done work and I can just head over straight to her place. So I remember on Tuesday, I was really excited and I decided to hop on Xbox that night and say this to the boys. Yo, boys, guess who's gonna go do the dentist? At this point, the boys were sick of it because I'm not gonna lie, one of them ended up telling me, bro, you literally said this last week when you went to go see your dentist and you didn't end up doing anything, bro. Like, you don't gotta lie to us. Just be real, man. But I knew I was telling the truth. Like, you guys know this feeling when you have to prove someone wrong, but you didn't prove them wrong yet, and it's just so time consuming, but they get on your butt every time you mention it. Well, that was basically this scenario. And knowing this, it gave me even more motivation to go to my dentist's house and go do the Devil's Tango. So I remember I ended up telling them over Xbox, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about. Trust me, man. I'm gonna go literally go slam the dentist on her own workplace and do it. In reality, I was gonna do it at you know, her house, but you know what I mean. I was trying to be over dramatic with the boys because that's how you usually are. But of course, knowing every person nowadays, they didn't believe me. You know, it makes sense how people don't believe the stuff I say, but at the same time, knowing I lived through it, it's kind of hilarious. Anyways, going on, I remember I basically had to prove that I was gonna do this. I had to do it. So the next day, when I woke up in the morning, I remember I got dressed, I got ready, and I also picked up a rubber from under my bed that I was gonna use on the dentist, because obviously protection first, ladies and gentlemen. And then I ended up going to school that day. When I went to school, I ended up meeting up with some of the boys that were on Xbox the night before, and they all looked at me saying, bro, Bubba, are you actually gonna go do it today? One of them said, and I ended up telling them, yeah, trust, bro, like this time I'm gonna put something in her mouth instead of her putting something in mine. Yeah, I didn't really think that coming through because it was really weird, and actually it was kind of hilarious the more I think about it now. And then I remember one of the guys ended up saying, bro, you better actually send a photo when you do it, bro. Like, I'm being for real, bro. Like, if you don't actually do it, I'm gonna actually troll you, bro. When he said this, I knew I had to, because if you guys do ever have like the group called the boys, or you know, have this friend group that's just full of guys that like, you know, like to pick on each other a lot, when they have something to pick about, they will do it till the ends of the earth, until you're basically on your grave, and they'll still make the same joke. So I remember I had to do this, knowing that the only way to clear this off my name was to basically do it was gonna happen. So every class I went to that day, I remember I was in desperate shock. I was like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I was gonna do this. And I remember when the last bell rang for school to end, I instantly got up and ran for the doors. Like, I didn't even let the bell finish ringing. That's when you know it's actually something really exciting. I think the last time I actually did something like that was when my parents got a brand new console for me and I want to play it so bad. But anyways, going on with the story, I remember I ended up running out the door and I basically started heading straight for my dentist's house. Funny enough, she didn't actually live that far from the school. She was actually like a couple blocks away, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, I mean, hey, it's just a benefit for me at the end of the day. And when I started running to her house, I remember it was like a 20-minute walk, and when I officially got there, I walked up the doorstep. She lived in a really nice house. Like, this house was gigantic. I could even almost say it was a mansion at this point. And then I remember I basically went on my phone, texted her that I was here, and then she told me to go around the back. Apparently, she didn't want me going through the front door because her front door has like a camera. So I ended up going around the house, around the back, and I ended up coming in from the back door. When I did, I remember she opened the door and she was in a robe. She was not basically wearing anything under that robe. And I remember she basically told me to sit down and offer me a glass of water. I don't know why. I guess she thought I was really nervous, but in a way, I was motivated. I literally said, nah, let's just get straight down to business, you know? As if I knew what I was doing. When in reality, I kind of didn't. I still was kind of nervous. Anyways, me and her, we instantly decided to, you know, exchange a couple words, aka, oh, you're hot, is all I really said to her. And then afterwards, she ended up grabbing my wrist and taking me upstairs, and we ended up going to the bedroom. And yes, we literally did do the devil's tango. And I'm not gonna lie, for her being my dentist, I gotta say, she had some really nice teeth. Like, knowing her, she definitely did floss properly. Anyways, going on with the story, I remember me and her went at it for, I want to say, almost an hour and a half. I don't know how I kept up knowing I was still in high school, but it worked out. And then basically, out of nowhere, and I mean this when I say this, the doorbell rang in the middle of it. I remember I was in shock and I was shaking. And I remember she ended up standing up from the bed saying, no one should be here. What in the world? And she ended up going down the stairs with her robe on. Me, I was in the bedroom not wearing anything. So obviously, I'm in like basic shock at this point. Knowing my legs were basically numb as well, I didn't know what to do. So I remember I decided to kind of just start getting ready, getting my pants on and my clothes, and basically start leaving. But as I exit the bedroom door and I start heading down the stairs, I look over the staircase and I see that her son literally came home. Not her husband, her actual son. And if you guys don't know, her son was surprisingly someone that was like in college. I don't know what this college person's gonna think, that I'm literally doing the devil's tango with his mom while her husband is gone on vacation. Like, oops, I guess daddy's not gonna like that. Or do I just come down the stairs and say, hey, I'm your new daddy? Like, I didn't know what to say. So I remember I basically ended up running back up the stairs and basically hiding under the bed. I remember I really had to do this because it was just really scary for me. And then afterwards, I want to say like 10 seconds later, I hear someone coming up the stairs. In my mind, I thought it was hopefully my dentist coming back up the stairs to say everything was clear and I can go home. But then right when I realize it and look at the door, I see her son coming into the bedroom arguing with his own mother. Well, aka my dentist. Basically, they had some argument about like my dentist's dad not like listening and paying attention and basically not doing his part in the family tree. I have no idea. Apparently some weird stuff was going on, and it made sense why my dentist didn't care much about her own husband, because apparently they already had some, you know, wife and husband issues that I guess a couple gets into sometimes. But in my mind, I knew at that point when I was hearing this argument and I was hearing my dentist's son basically complain saying how he just wanted a normal family, it made me feel bad. I actually felt really bad knowing what happened. I didn't really want to be there anymore. And knowing that I already did the devil's tango with his own mom already made me feel worse. I remember I basically just stayed there all quiet and stuff, and I want to say like 10 minutes went by of me hearing this whole entire argument. And when you hear an argument for 10 minutes straight, you guys gotta understand, it sucks. It makes you feel worse and worse the minute it goes by. After like 10 minutes though, I remember the son went out the door all angrily because his mom wasn't cooperating, aka my dentist. And basically my dentist came back into the room saying, oh my goodness, Baba, I am so sorry you had to hear all that. That was so embarrassing. I remember I ended up coming out of under the bed, and I was already fully clothed because I was changing while I was under there. And basically I ended up telling her saying, hey, listen, I don't think it's cool if we see each other again. You know what I mean? As if I was like a full-on grown-up. I remember she looked at me and said, oh, like, no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's just like a thing that's happening with the family. Like, I'm planning on divorcing my husband. And when she told me that she was divorcing her husband, I ended up saying, honestly, I don't think you should. She ended up looking at me all weird saying, what? Why did you tell me not to divorce my husband? That's really odd of you. And I ended up telling her, well, knowing your son, honestly, from everything I just heard, I think it's not worth it. The kid just wants a normal family, even though the kid was like 20 and was in college. But still, I basically said how, you know, she should just try working things out with her husband and just see if, you know, they fix things. But then I realized that my dentist was feeling really sad after I said that. She sat down on the bed wearing only her robe and said, Baba, you gotta understand, my husband cheated on me. Oh, okay, that sucks, is what I told her. And then I told her, well, you gotta understand, blood is thicker than water. I saw that in like a movie somewhere, so I thought it'd be cool to say at the moment because we were talking about family. Like, I don't know, it was either that or I pull out something from Dom Toretto, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, family's everything, but like, it is what it is. Anyways, going on with the story, I remember at that moment, I basically just wanted to get out of there. I wasn't comfortable being there anymore. So I ended up basically getting my backpack and everything that I had for school, and I ended up leaving. But before I left, I remember my dentist looked at me and said, Baba, can we please just see each other one more time. I looked at her and said, I don't know, we'll see what the future holds. And I ended up leaving. After that day, I remember I went home and I hopped on Xbox, and basically from there, I remember all the boys were already freaking out when I joined the Xbox party. Now, I found this weird because I didn't send them anything, nor did I say anything to them. It was weird because I remember I was so motivated and I forgot to take evidence and proof that I ended up doing the Devil's Tango with her. But apparently they found out somehow. And it was so weird because I remember asking them, wait, guys, how do you guys even know that I did it with the dentist? And he ended up saying, dude, some college kid literally ended up posting about a guy named Baba and how he was gonna kill him. Wait, what? Now I had her son literally going after me, and I have no idea how he found out that I was actually in that room at the moment. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the story. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And like I always say, follow for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.